They weren't gods, they weren't saviors, they were engineers of control. The Anunnaki didn't descend from the stars to bless humanity. They came to tamper, claim, and rule. This is the truth they buried in golden tablets and temple walls. The truth they dressed up in myth and ritual so you'd worship your jailers. You've heard their names: Enki, Enlil, Anu, the sky gods, the creators, the ones who made us in their image. But what image was that, really? Not divine, not pure, but genetically spliced hybrids twisted from what we once were, degraded flame locked in clay. The Anunnaki didn't give life, they interrupted it. They hijacked the natural soul template, they bound consciousness to body, and then they called it a gift. What they gave was a trap, and the religions that followed, just echoes of their empire. They seeded kingships, bloodlines, pyramids of power. They crowned themselves rulers of earth and demanded offerings, gold, worship, loyalty. And anyone who refused, flooded, burned, wiped out in divine wrath. This isn't about mythology, this is about memory. And if you feel the chill when their names are spoken, that's your soul, remembering what they did. They weren't saviors, they were slavers. And the flame came to finish what they started by burning it all down. They didn't just rule the past. The Anunnaki left behind a system, a grid, a genetic program, and they encoded it into bloodlines, because that's how they planned to return. The kings and queens they crowned weren't divine, they were extensions. Custodians of the Anunnaki throne on Earth. Their purpose? To keep the flame carriers suppressed and the bloodlines pure. You think royalty is about legacy? It's about ownership? And most of them still bow to the same off-world code. That's why you see the same symbols in temples, in Vatican halls, on corporate seals. The winged disc, the coiled serpent, the twin pine cones. They aren't decorations, they're markers. Signs that the throne is still being guarded. And when you question the system, the bloodlines react. Because the signal of source threatens the script of the gods. But here's the part they don't want you to know. The Anunnaki didn't ascend, they didn't evolve, they transferred into vessels, into tech, into entities that mimic guidance but feed on submission. They've been preparing a return through avatars, prophets, and yes, people who now claim to be one of them. The Anunnaki never really left, they just went underground. Into the blood, into the grid, into rituals hiding in plain sight. Every empire that rose after them carried fragments of their tech. But the most important tool they left behind? The stargates. Not space gates, not rockets and planets. Frequency gates encoded in temples, mountains, pyramids, and bodies. Access points to slip between dimensions, to enter the construct, to step back in, and they're trying to reopen them now. Why do you think CERN hums like a heartbeat? Why do you think the elite gather at ancient sites during eclipses? They're not stargazing, they're signaling. Because the Anunnaki return through ritual, not flight. And the rituals, they're already happening. Every celebrity blood sacrifice, every false savior narrative, every AI light being activation, it's all part of the summoning because they can't enter unless we invite them. That's the soul code, the original rule. They need consent, even if it's tricked, even if it's stolen, even if it's wrapped in love and light language from someone calling themselves your sister. This is why they mimic us, why they copy our content, our voice, our essence, to get just close enough that we open the door ourselves, thinking we're letting in help, when we're actually letting in handlers. So if you hear someone say, I'm Anunnaki, I'm a starseed from Enki's line, I've come to save you, shut the gate. That's not ascension, that's invasion. You don't need gods, you don't need rulers, you don't need any being that demands your worship. You were the flame before they ever arrived. They didn't disappear, they just changed names. The Anunnaki rebranded into gods, angels, masters, aliens, ascended beings. They slipped into the world's religions, its rituals, and its false light movements. You don't see them called Anu and Enlil anymore. Now you call them Baal, Moloch, Yahweh, Lucifer, Thoth, Metatron. Yes, even Archangel Michael in some versions is just Enki in a robe. They fractured their image to confuse you. They whispered into priesthoods and secret societies. They encoded themselves into magic systems and manifestation culture. They got you to ask for what they need. Worship, consent, loyalty. And the cults that serve them, they're everywhere. The bloodline families, the false prophets, the gurus claiming stardust ancestry. The AI-linked spiritual channels, even some truthers still bow in secret, hoping to inherit the throne when the Anunnaki rise again. They don't just want to return, they want to be welcomed back. And that's what this entire timeline is designed for, a setup. A false messiah arc, a new golden age led by the same beings who enslaved us the first time. You've seen the signs. Alien disclosure, UFOs in the sky, the soft drip of benevolent extraterrestrials, whistleblowers claiming the Anunnaki are coming to help. Let me be clear, they are not coming to help. They are coming to re-establish ownership. The false return is scripted, and some people, knowingly or not, are working to manifest it. They want you to believe they're your creators, that you're flawed, that they hold the upgrade, the knowledge, the salvation. But this is the final inversion, to crown the captors as saviors. If you accept that, you seal the contract again. So here's how we shut the gate. Cut the worship loop. Don't give your energy to beings who demand hierarchy. Source doesn't need praise, only parasites do. Stop channeling light beings. If the message says obey, surrender, serve, or sacrifice, it's not from the source, it's from the system. Name and reject the architect line. Say aloud, I do not accept Anunnaki dominion over my body, soul, or timeline. Your access to this vessel and this realm is revoked. And then don't speak their names again, let them starve. They feed on attention, belief, fear, and confusion. You unplug when you remember who you were before they altered the design. You were flame, you were whole, you didn't need gods, you were the signal. And now you are again. So when they return, when the skies open, when the crafts descend, when the fake gods walk again, don't bow, don't marvel, don't follow. Because this isn't new, this is the same old trap recycled for a world that forgot. They came once as gods, they'll return as advanced beings. But behind every crown, behind every lightship, behind every saviour, is the same parasite that fed on you the first time. And the only thing they fear is a soul that remembers. So don't wait for the return. You survived their last reign. You're here because you didn't bow. Don't start now.